Right, we just got back from a 5 mile hike and then we rode our bikes for about 4 miles or so. Early this morning we spread out all our gear for our final rundown. We're doing the Foothills Trail next Wednesday, so we have 7 days. We have family coming in on the weekends. We've got to get all this done and packed up and ready to go by tomorrow evening. Just kind of wanted to go over this with everybody and explain why we have it, what our thoughts were, and why we're using the gear. One thing I do want to go over is this is new for us. Tons of research, and I read over and over, this will definitely keep the ticks off. Back when we did the Palmetto Trail, we did it from end of January, February, March, even in those cold times, and it was still winter basically. We had a little bit of a warm winter. I was tore up with ticks, constantly pulling them off. So with this stuff here, you spray it on the outside of the gear that does not make contact with you, like your backpack, your shoes, your socks, the outside of your tent, your clothes, on the outside of your clothes, and then you set it out and let it dry for 2 to 4 hours, and then it's good for 6 months or 6 washings. So it'll stay on there, and all the research that I've read on it and found out about it, it works awesome. All right, so let's look what we got here. We're both going with the Z-Pack packs. They're 21 ounces. They're the Arc Blast. Keeps the weight way down. And out of everything that I've tried, they're the lightest, and they also carry the load the best. It's the most comfortable pack I've used. On a side note, they're also considered water resistant, but when we were on the Foothills Trail, that's the last time, and we only got about a day and a half in before Interim got injured. But on the first day, we hit a downpour. I mean, it soaked us from head to toe. I just ran with my pack the way it was because it was water resistant, but it turned out it was waterproof. By the time we got into camp that night, nothing on the inside had been affected by the rain. So I can't speak highly enough. They're very expensive, but I can't speak highly enough about the adjustability, the comfort, the weight, the way it can distribute and carry the weight well. It's just an awesome pack. And that's the Z-Packs. We're also using their tent. It's the Z-Packs Duplex, because there's 2 of us. Gives us a ton of room. We have room. We each have a vestibule on each side and our own entrance and exit on each side. And the weight on that thing it's incredibly light. It's going to be the lightest tent. We always weigh out everything to get it down precise. And I think this is going to come in, I think it's 1.6, yeah, 1 pound 6 ounces. It's super light tent, but awesome. It also is extremely waterproof, get you through the storms. Now, if you'll notice, of course, if you've followed us very much, you know that our trail names, Inchworm, takes her time sometimes when she struggles, has a slow way down. Well, unfortunately for me, I have to carry most of our gear. We keep her at about 7 or 8, maybe 9 pounds tops, and then I carry all the gear. So I'm just going to run through this. This time, after all our experiences with tough sleeping, pains when we wake up, and just the miserable nights when you don't have the right gear, we've actually decided to carry a little more weight based upon our sleeping pads and our pillows as well. Now these pillows, they come in right at 8 ounces. They're the Mio, I believe. But they're air and foam. Very, very comfortable. They'll also stow themselves into their own little pack right there. You just roll them up. It gets down to a little bit smaller than the airbed. We put out a review recently on the airbeds, or sleeping pads, and we've gone with the Big Agnes. Of course, we gained some weight with it. It's 1 pound 6 ounces, I believe. See. This time for the Foothills Trail, and we're probably going to use them in the PT as well, we've got the Sea to Summit tarp, basically. Super lightweight. It's coming in, I think, 12 ounces or so. But after what we experienced on the Foothills Trail, that downpour and that storm, we've decided that we're going to carry this along this time. So we're carrying on an extra 10 ounces. But it's fairly large, and it goes up quick. We can use trekking poles, and it's got the strings, and it's going to keep us out of the weather when we get some bad situations. For the Foothills Trail, we're just going to each have an extra change of clothes. We're going to have 2 pair of socks for hiking and a backup pair. We've gone to what everybody calls the ass pads, but you would be amazed when you're out there finding a comfortable dry spot to sit how difficult it is. So these only are 2 ounces. Let's see, and then we also got our solar kit. Tested it, used it a lot. It comes in, I think, at about 14 ounces. It's got the fast charge feature. With the Samsung phones we have, we'll get up to 50% charge in about 20 minutes using that if we got the right sun. We have 2 battery packs as well. They will typically give us 2 to 3 charges on our phones. It'll also, because it's USB 3.0, it'll also charge this little laptop, which we're bringing along so we can post to the journal. And then we have our Verizon cellular, and then this is so we can connect to SD cards and upload videos and all of pictures if we can. It depends on what kind of service we have on the Foothills Trail. Our lights, we both run with the Lone Peak 3.0s. There's still a little war from the last Foothills hike. All of our medications, and then we've got the MSR pot, and inside of here we've got the stove. We're also carrying some hot sauce and basically all our eateries and our sewing kit, and we carry along 1 pot. We eat out of Ziploc bags, and then we burn them, and then we share that pot together to keep our weight down. This whole setup here runs just about 1 pound 4 ounces. I typically run with the smaller fuel canister, the 4 ounce. Our one we have is down to a half, and with a 6-day hike ahead of us, I just don't want to chance that. So this time I'm going to run with the brand new full 8 ounce that I've got. Let's see, and then there's our Lucy light, and this will be our first time using it. But by getting rid of our other little lanterns that we had, we've cut our light weight down to, I think, by about 4 ounces by going to that. Toiletries, rain jackets, bug spray. This time of year the bugs are miserable on the Foothills Trail. Boy, they're bad. So we're carrying more this time. Then our miscellaneous kit, those patches for the air beds, extra strings, some carabiners, water purification tabs, compass, first aid kit. I've got it narrowed down to just a small amount. These don't go with us this time. I don't know why they're in the kit. And our hygiene pack, toothbrushes and so forth. And then this is our bag that we use for our food. It's made out of Kelvar, and I'm not able to open it with one hand. The Velcro is just crazy strong on it. But we also keep our food, which you see the string is so we can hang it. But these Ziploc bags are odor proof, so anything that's inside of it, there's no smell to it on the outside. These are our bars for during the day and morning. These are our meals for at night. We have enough for 6 nights. A lot of people bring on a ton of food on the trail. We keep it down to usually about 4 or 5 pounds. We find that in the first few days, our appetites are not that great. They're okay, but we're drinking so much water through the day. But this will more than suffice for us. And these are all the freeze-dried foods that I had put some pictures of before. Our cord for charging. And then this is our inReach GPS that's going to be used so everybody can track us through the website that we've got posted up. And we're going to keep it on as we're hiking at night. Naturally, we'll conserve the battery and turn it down. But it's also our GPS as well. I think that just about covers all of our gear. Our sleeping bags over here. It's where we spend a good bit of money. And we don't use the Sea to Summits. And I think they're coming in about 13 ounces. It's super light. They're good down to, just the bag itself, good down to about 45. But then we also have 2 inserts. One that adds an additional 10 degrees, but it adds 6 ounces of weight. And then we got one that enables it to go all the way down to 28 to 20 degrees with the insert. But that one weighs around 14 ounces. For this hike, it's going to be warm. So all we're bringing is just the bags. We don't put them in the stuff sacks anymore. We just put them in a plastic bag, shove them in there. It's just too much work in the mornings to try and get those things back into the packs. And we come over to the inchworm side. Most of hers is her personal items, her clothing, same bag as me, same shoes, same ass pad. Basically, she's carrying our empty water bladders as we move along. and we fill those up. We typically are just going to fill up our water bottles, and that'll carry us. And on the Foothills Trail, there's so much water. We'll just get down as we hit a creek. We can filter water right into there, and we're good to go. But for cooking, we need a lot of water, so as we get closer to camp, we'll take these bladder bags and fill those up. So we'll have those for cooking once we get into camp. But that's kind of a base overview of what we bring and kind of explaining why. Most of this stuff is super light. Unfortunately, the lighter you go, the more expensive it is. But we usually keep inchworm. I think this time we're probably going to be, with the increased weight of the Big Agnes sleeping pad, she's probably around 8.6 pounds. The last run I did on mine before I did a little bit more shaking down, I was at 27. I think I'm going to be closer to 25, because I continue every time I go. I find new things I just don't need. It's amazing how much you can save with just moving a wrapper or a stuffed sack or just little parts along the way. But there's a good overview of it. Now I've got to take all this out and I'm going to spray it down. Not all of it, but the outside of the gear with this, let it dry, and then we're going to stuff it all in to the packs neatly, and we'll be ready to go. So 7 more days and we're going to be back on the Foothills Trail.